USC fans, welcome to a special halftime edition of television. I'm your host, Ryan Abraham, in the press box here at the Rose Bowl, and the Bruins are leading the Trojans 21-10. A lot of tackling issues for USC, some pretty bad offensive plays for the Trojans. So I want to take your comments and questions in the chat box. We'll just broadcast live from here. I'm sorry, hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm trying to move the microphone a little closer because it's working. Yeah, we got the masks on and everything here in the press box, but if you have any questions, you can put them in there. Not an encouraging performance by USC coming out of the gate. The Trojans knew that they were going to be the champions of the Pac-12 South coming into this game, and I don't know if that was part of the motivation, but I like the way UCLA's been playing the last couple of weeks. They've looked good. They came out and looked good here. They ran the ball. We saw DTR really throw it well. Let me pull up the stats here for you, but yeah, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, 14 of 16 for 129 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had that one pick, a really great play by Isaiah Polamau. Keith Slovis was okay. 15 of 23, 173 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Really, the run game was all Vavae Malapei, 7 carries for 43 yards. Everybody else that had a rush, they're negative yardage. So only Vavae Malapei. So 30 yards rushing in the first half. Certainly not going to get it done. Let me see. Yeah, we'll put some questions on there. Let me show you a couple of the good plays that were in there. This is the Drake London play. Thanks to Brian Fisher for his Twitter account. Like, the tackles he was breaking in this one, pretty crazy. So, I mean, he was fumbling with the ball. You could see that. 7 UCLA players end up touching him. And then this is the Isaiah Polamau.
Second down and 6. And the pass batted into the air, and it's intercepted. Your second down and 6. And the pass batted into the air, and it's intercepted.
Field goal.
Your second down and 6.
USC got down to the 12-yard line and had to settle for a field goal there, but really giving UCLA the ball back, and UCLA gets the ball to start the second half, and not being able to get a stop there was a really big deal, I think. So, we saw the Trojans struggling with tackling. I think UCLA's defense that's been doing a really good job of stuffing people at the line of scrimmage. They continued that. They were able to do that. So, let me know. Can you guys hear me okay on this one? I know it's kind of loud in here. I'll take some comments and stuff. Let's see, what do we got here? Where's Marquis Stepp? Yeah, Marquis Stepp did not have a carry in this one. The first carry was very strange. It was a pitch to Gary Bryant Jr., the true freshman wide receiver, in the shadow of your own end zone, and ends up losing 6 yards. That was a really weird one. We haven't seen Stepp. We saw, I think, Stephen Carr has 4 carries, minus 3 yards. Gary Bryant Jr. has 1 carry. He lost 6 yards. And Vavae Malapei has 7 for 43. So Slovis actually was the leading rusher for a little while there. And then, he had an 8-yard scramble, which was kind of nice. And then, there was an 8-yard scramble, and then he got sacked a couple of times. UCLA's been forcing a lot of negative plays, and that's just what this defense does, and USC hasn't been able to overcome it. That's Keely Eura, the back up there. Let's see, all right. Yeah, so let's see, question for the show. How high do you rank Drake London as the best wide receiver in the country? Thanks. I don't know if he's the best wide receiver in the country. Did you see that? The dude from Alabama, Smith, is pretty awesome. But Drake London's been a star. I mean, Keith Silvis focused on him for the very first pass of the game that just didn't connect. But watching, sorry, this mask moves a lot when I talk. Watching him break all those tackles, I mean, that's the thing. Why is USC, got 10 points? It's really the talent. Like you get the ball in Drake London's hands, and he makes a big play, and that's talent. That wasn't. I think they're being out coached here. They're definitely being out hit. I think they're being out schemed and out physical. This is UCLA team is punching USC in the mouth, and the Trojans so far haven't really responded. They got that big play to London, and you cut it to 7 points. You feel like you're going to get some momentum going into halftime, but for UCLA to come back and now stretch the lead to 11, that's got to be a little demoralizing, especially with the Bruins getting the ball to start the second half. And the way UCLA likes to do it, they like to play defense, they be aggressive, and they come after you, and they like to run the football. This is the kind of score you want if you're UCLA. So yeah, this is going to be a problem for USC. They're going to have to play well and be coached well in the second half. Edwards said they've missed so many tackles. Yeah, they have. They have a lot. They've missed a lot of tackles. The tackling was atrocious. Question, do they still practice tackling at all? We can't watch practice, so, we don't know. And we know the offensive line is intact. They got everyone back. They weren't able to do a lot of 11-on-11 stuff in the week before Washington State, but for this game, they were able to. Now, how much, physical practicing did they do, or were they just trying to take it easy? Doesn't look like they're ready for this one. So, Jesse says, UCLA is the physical football team in LA. Think about that. They are. I mean, that's been their identity this season. I mean, it's been aggressive defense and run the football. If you watched my Tunnel Vision show, that's what I talked about. I'm like, this is a really good UCLA team. David Johnson says, reminds me of 2 years ago when UCLA punched USC in the mouth. Yeah, that was right here on this field, and UCLA definitely played well. USC, boat raced them last year, but DTR had a really big game. Slovis threw for 500 yards, so, it's going to be hard to do that, but Slovis isn't having that kind of game right now, so. Byron says Chip Kelly's no genius. He's ran the same offense everywhere he goes. Actually, I don't agree with you on that one. He's run different offenses. This is definitely a lot different than the blur he ran at Oregon, and it's a lot different than what you saw in the NFL, but his offense wasn't working at UCLA the last couple of years, but it's working now. This looks a lot better. That Demetric Felton, watch him. He's got 2 touchdown catches in this one, but he's a tough runner. I love to watch him. Britton Brown hasn't done too much. Let me see what. As far as UCLA running the football, Felton has 41 yards on 12 carries. Thompson Robinson had that 22-yard run that was big. We haven't seen much of the other guys. A couple from Phillips and a couple from Britton Brown, but that's about it. But UCLA ran the ball for 105 yards, but I think they're really efficient at what they're doing. Defensively, Talanoa Fungus, again, 8 tackles. He's leading the Trojans. But they're 5 tackles for loss for UCLA, 1 interception, 2 pass breakups, 2 sacks. USC only has 1 tackle for loss, 1 interception, and 1 pass breakup, no sacks. So it's pretty, as far as the defense, the stats go, UCLA's dominating this one. So Joseph on the side, did Ryan go blonde or get highlights? No, that's gray. I'm salt and peppery. That's about it. But the lighting in here might not be that great. Let's see what else we have. Jesse, USC has the talent to come back, and UCLA has been turnover prone. This game isn't over. No, you're right. The game isn't over. We saw Arizona State last week come back and take the lead against UCLA. So it's definitely something we've seen UCLA do. UCLA, we thought, was going to dominate that game. USC definitely has the talent. They're the most talented team, so that's why it's got to be a little discouraging to be down 21-10 when you're the most talented team. SC Trojan 911, no matter how bad they lose, someone at USC will claim Helton led them to the title game. Well, that would be true. USC would be going to the Pac-12 championship game. That'll happen on Friday. USC is going to host. We don't know who it's going to be. But people have talked about that too. Can you overlook this game and just look at the Pac-12 championship game? I don't think you can. Like, you have to beat UCLA. If you don't, even a Pac-12 championship will feel kind of hollow losing to the Bruins here. Tony G says that's the thing that's wrong with the passing game, is that passing is all they do. Defense can take it away and you can't run the damn ball. Yeah, I mean, they came out and threw 6 straight passes. Now, a couple of them might have been RPOs, but they threw 6 straight passes. The 6th one was picked off. They had a couple successful runs with Vavai Malpea. Like, he looked good running the ball. No one else. There was a second 2. They couldn't pick it up running the football. Vavai did pick up a 3rd and 1, I believe, earlier, but it's it's a problem. So they got a little bit of ground game. Like, Vavai's done some things, but I don't know where Step is. Joan says they're awful to watch. It's so frustrating. Hey, Joan. Yes. This is, yes. I think it would be frustrating to be a USC fan to watch this team, because you know that the talent is there, and they are simply not bringing it. And you have to look at how they prepared for this one. Now, there's 30 minutes of the game left, and USC can easily come back and win this one, but it can't be encouraging. And if you're a team that likes to play defense and run the football, this is the position you want to be in, up 11 points at the half, getting the ball to start the second half. This is from CT. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. First half summary. I don't know if it's the talent not working hard. I think this is a team that does work hard, but is it a team that's well prepared by the coaches? It doesn't look like it right now. We've seen, USC's 4-0, but there's a couple games they easily could have lost. Right now, they're in a game that they can easily lose. You only get a 5-game season, regular season. You want to be able to go undefeated. To not go undefeated, it's going to leave a hollow taste in a lot of fans' mouths. They're not going to be happy. Ryan, call the football staff. Ask where's Step, Marcus Step. I think the staff is actually, like, if I look down there, they're just probably just down the hall a little bit, but yeah, no, we can't communicate with them, and I'll keep an eye on him. I'll see where he is, but how many plays did USC run? It was one of those things too, like 38 plays. That's okay, but I didn't see Marquis Step out there. So especially when he's a physical guy, it'd be interesting to see what he would do out here. But if I ran well, they might have to stick with him because he's the hot hand right now. So Coley had a good question about sideline energies, both teams. I missed that. Sorry, things are flying by pretty quickly. I'll look. Do you feel USC's sideline energies are equal or more than UCLA's energy? Keely, what do you think sideline energy is?
Why can't I see anything? Oh, it's delayed.
Yeah.
Got it. UCLA is definitely more energized. It's crazy because we can hear it just because no one's in here right now.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously no fans. But I mean, USC has had up and down sideline energy this whole season and still has come back and won. So it's not really a good litmus test as to what will happen in the game. So,
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks, Keely, for the cameo there. We're in our kind of little cocoon here so everyone's separated by 6 feet, and we have our partitions and stuff. And it's pretty kind of empty. It's pretty quiet in the press box too. They don't have a press box announcer, so we're hearing the stadium. But it is definitely a surreal experience covering a game here and being all alone. They play the national anthem at the beginning. You're like, what is going on? Well, the players, special teams guys are starting to come on the field, so we'll probably have to wrap this up pretty soon. I'll do a couple more questions. Bobby says JT Daniels looks better than Slovis. Thoughts, Ryan? I thought JT Daniels was a really good quarterback too. I think they're both really good quarterbacks. We didn't get to see JT in a good system. This was a good system last year. It's not looking as good this year, but I think JT Daniels would have had success last year. I think Keaton Slovis would have success at Georgia. I think it's more about situation stuff, what's going on here. Heather, once again, we are out-coached. Yeah, no, there's no question who did a better job coaching in the first half. It's the Chip Kelly-led UCLA Bruins over the USC Trojans. Trojan, Keenan Kristen maybe. For now, just ram it up the middle with Vavai. Yeah, it's hard when you got a lot of running backs and you're not having a bunch of success. You have one guy that has been successful, you probably got to go with him. So I think that's kind of where they are right now. Let's see. Could SC afford to fire Helton Paul? Okay, so there's a lot of questions about like Urban Meyer and firing Clay Helton. No, I think first of all USC is going to win the Pac-12 South. So not that that's like an amazing accomplishment, but I don't think you're going to be making a coaching change there. But in this pandemic, I don't think USC can afford to now. I think if the USC makes a change, it would be sometime in 2021, either during or after the season. I think that's what would be more affordable for USC. I don't think, barring some crazy off-the-field thing, that USC would make a coaching change. So that's been my thought all along. Johnny enjoyed watching Drake London all year. He's a beast. He definitely is a beast. I mean, he was the USC offense there with that play. You know, I mean, I think USC's throwing the football, a lot of underneath stuff for USC. UCLA's coming on the field right now, if you can hear that. A lot of underneath stuff, and UCLA is doing a good job tackling, keeping guys in front of them. And Drake London just broke through and made a play. That's an individual play, So USC's going to need some more big plays, and they're going to have to tackle better. I know Todd Orlando's not going to be happy with what's going on here. So, all right. Well, UCLA just took the field. Looks like what's it called? USC's coming out here too. So I'm going to end this. But thanks for watching Tunnel Vision Halftime. Check out uscfootball.com for we'll put a whole bunch of stuff up after the game, a lot of analysis, and we'll see if the Trojans can make a comeback here in the second half. All right, I'm signing off for Ryan Abraham. I'm Ryan Abraham. Thanks for